song for the tricentennial. Mr. Ricky, you have it.
Newmarket town song. I have a little wish that I could have a little wish for you. Newmarket town. There's lots of places we could go. Everyone is good, you know. Newmarket town. I think that you will understand it's not a diabolical plan, it's just a simple truth that I have found. The people that you meet and greet along historic, friendly streets in Newmarket town. Newmarket, Newmarket, Newmarket town. Newmarket, don't hark, it's the best kept secret around. I'm praying, no, I'm staying, I'm just glad that I found to learn about the mystery and celebrate the history of Newmarket town. The smell of hay, the tractor time, the sandy pits and gravel mines. Newmarket town. Young women laboring at the loom with cotton bolts from southern bloom. Newmarket town. The mossy covered graveyard stones that speak with dates of ancient homes, old fire stations, wooden wagon wheels bound. Stone church high on Zion's hill, where meetings music bring a thrill to Newmarket town. Newmarket, Newmarket, Newmarket town. Newmarket, don't hark, it's the best kept secret around. I'm praying, no, I'm staying, I'm just glad that I found to learn about the mystery and celebrate the history of Newmarket town. And now the train is coming through, past gates and bells, the whistle blew. Newmarket town. Growls and grinds along the track with warning words that won't come back. Newmarket town. The traffic stops, rear red light screams. May the phoenix of your broken dreams that scattered with the winds that blew them on. And welcome now the coming spring, the sun, the warmth, new green to bring to Newmarket town. Newmarket, Newmarket, Newmarket town. Newmarket, don't hark, it's the best kept secret around. I'm praying, oh, I'm staying, I'm just glad that I found to learn about the mystery and celebrate the history of Newmarket town. And now it's been 300 years, so full of laughter and some tears. Newmarket town. The granite stone still stands today, reminders as you go your way through Newmarket town. The lofty church bell tower chimes o'er bridges where the river winds. The birds flock to their feeder gathered round. And as I walk up to the door, I hear the creak in my old floor in Newmarket town. Newmarket, Newmarket, Newmarket town. Newmarket, don't hark, it's the best kept secret around. I'm praying, no, I'm staying, I'm just glad that I found to learn about the mystery and celebrate the history of Newmarket town. To learn about the mystery and celebrate the history of Newmarket town.
I think we should start meetings like this.
All right. Our great thanks to Mr. Ripley for this wonderful song. We will find a way for everyone in here for the recording today. And then we'll move on.
Yeah, we have a MP3 copy of it, we'll put it on the website, and let's do it in the future, there's no problem with this record.
I'll be updating the recording.
Okay.
And send it to you.
Perfect,
I
perfect.
need to write some harmonies and
Sounds great.
go from there.
Well, the way you just presented it was very nice. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to the last fun section. We will now open a public forum. Public forum is limited to 15 minutes total. Each speaker will be allowed 2 minutes. Speakers must be a resident of the town of Newmarket, property owner in the town of Newmarket, or a designated representative of a recognized civic organization or business located in the town of Newmarket. When at the podium, please state your name and address for the record. Address comes to the chair and the council as a body, not to the members. This is not a two-way dialogue, and the council will not qualify at this time. However, if something requires a follow-up, we will come with the answer and send it out to you after we've done this. All right, is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak tonight? And we move on to acceptance of minutes. So we have the non-public minutes of the June 17th meeting. Is there a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make a motion to accept the non-public meeting minutes of
Any discussion? Seeing none, can we please call the roll?
Council Cronin? Aye. Council Bender?
Aye.
Blackstone? Mr. Brad Blaisdell?
Aye.
Mr. Martin?
Aye.
Mr. Ward?
Aye.
Passes.
Next order of business is the acceptance of the regular session minutes of the June 17th meeting. Is there a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make a motion to accept the regular meeting minutes of June 17th.
Any discussion? Seeing none, Ms. Grace, please call the roll.
Council Cronin? Aye. Mr. Bender?
Aye.
Mr. Blackstone?
Aye.
Mr. Blaisdell?
Aye.
Mr. Martin?
Aye.
Mr. Ward?
Aye.
Passes.
Next, we have the report of the town manager.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First, I am not in my written report that I gave email to you this evening, but it was good, the fiscal year 26 preliminary expenses revenues of the end year. Just a quarter reminder, this was preliminary, this time audited, there are additional expenses that are still being fiscal June. We're in, we're on payroll, for the year not yet reported at that time. The final figures was figures. Will change as year-end close activities in the audit. So this is just a direction of that. Revenue status goes to $44.13 million across all funds, 99.94% of the $44.15 million budget. General fund, recreation, and solid waste fund exceeded the annual revenue budget. For water finished at 91% of the those more revenues. So the total revenues increased both year over year, real estate tax and recreation fund. Expenditures, preliminary expenditures right now, these are really coming in. Well, a lot of departments are locking in the year to make sure their budgets are okay with those purchases. The preliminary total, $79 million, and 95% of the revised $19 million budget. With an additional $239,000 in as I said, file expenses will rise as additional costs posted. The two that were over, and they're over most of the year, were fire rescue at 119.2%, other total budget, and public works vehicles at 114.8%. Bottom line, we closed revenues essentially matching budget, and expenses parts to $1.6 million total budget, and a favorable overall situation. So we're doing well this year. My written report, just an update, we are moving forward with the boundary line adjustment along Creighton Street that would transfer most of the parts of the park, expand park space for retaining a smaller house lot for a market rate sale to help cover acquisition costs. The remaining lot, approximately 3,000 square feet, well below our 4 districts 10,000 nice with minimum therefore non-conforming. Trying the ZBA relief for the lot line adjustment. We are going to have the county attorney file and present the application to maintain separation from the zoning department. Should be due in then August. The town's going to award the coastal resilience grant funding from DES coastal program for the development area. The award includes $41,600 funding, plus $10,000 in non-federal match from the Stratford Regional Planning Commission, slightly above our original request as DES had excess funds available. Funding runs from contract approval, which is targeted for January 2027, through June 2028, an approximately 18-month project timeframe. The final contract is contingent on 3 things: negotiating a final scope of services and budget with DES, and proposal review team's comments, meeting with NOAA Office of Coastal Management requires as federal funding sources satisfying state contracting requirements. Just 2 reminders. One, that on August 12th, we'll be having our joint meeting with the Newmarket School Board. They will be discussing the agenda tomorrow. They did send a draft one over to the superintendent, and we'll get back to us. It is a town council meeting. We invite them to attend because that's what the charter requires. So,
Can you repeat the date?
August 12th. So we'll be having a special meeting that day. And just again on August 7th, the Friday, that we'll be having once again our annual backyard bash. The recreation department will be having it. The town's community night that's drawn about 3,000 or 5,000 attendees in recent years. Tentative rain date in case there seems like jinx us, knock on wood, but we have to have a thunderstorm on the fireworks. The tentative rain date will be Monday, August 10th. The evening include music, a beer garden, a touch truck with police, fire, and rescue, and a water balloon toss in honor of National Water Balloon Day, and a fireworks display starting at 9:15. And that is all I have today, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Now we move on to committee reports.
No questions?
Oh, sorry, questions or?
Yeah, I just want to comment. What a great staff we have here in Newmarket. Congratulations to Bob McDonald, Lindsay Butler, and I think Sean is also in this coastal resiliency grant. Great credit to them. That's it.
We have department head reports too, if there's questions.
Oh, yes. Is there any comment or discussion on the department reports for this month? It just seems like our departments are doing a good job as always, and we appreciate that. All right. Now we move to committee reports. Does anyone here have a committee report to give? Councilor Blackstone, then Councilor Glazebrook, and then Councilor Blackstone. And then
the planning board met yesterday. The 14 Elm Street design review was there. It was the corner of Elm, Nichols, and Washington. It's a large lot. It was for non-binding feedback for them. Many neighbors and abutters came out to voice their opinions. The project, as presented last night, would require 3 special use permits in order to be built, related to width on the roads, the density, so the amount of units in them, and the height of the building. There are concerns from the neighbors, mostly to do with parking, traffic, and some flooding that happens at the corner of Nichols and Washington, and visibility pulling out onto Elm Street from it. There's some other things as well. That's all for now until they come back with what they want to do next. They just were looking for feedback, and they got it. The master plan was up for a vote, but the vote to finalize it, the vote was pushed back until the August 11th meeting right now, to allow residents to see the document fully and to view the stuff on the website. If nothing major comes up at the August 11th meeting, then we'll vote then to finalize it.
Now, Councilor Waxman.
The Conservation Commission had a presentation from Nature Conservancy of New Hampshire and the Great Bay National Estuary Research Center. They're looking at restoring the Loverland Creek Marsh, which is out on Bay Road. As you may know, the early settlers in New Hampshire did all their farming on the marshes because the marsh was cleared and you didn't have to cut any trees down or anything. So they went into the marshes and they just cut trenches throughout the marshes and drained them down. And then were able to farm on these marshlands. The situation with the marsh now is that the sea level keeps getting higher and higher. And so they've created little depression areas in there that get flooded at high tide and then they don't drain out at low tide. And this causes a big problem with vegetation growth and with a lot of wildlife. So they're looking at going out and they want to get rid of all the trenches, but they have a thing called a rowling where if you cut a deep trench, that's really terrible. But if you go in and cut a little trench, that's called rowling, and that's a really good thing. And so that's a way to drain these little things. So they want to go in and try to get the water out of it. You can see this in the, I don't know what it's called there, when you drive to Stratham, you see that big marsh on the left there. And you see the big ponding that occurs there. It's the same kind of thing. They want to do that as well. There's a bird that nests there, and it nests in the grass. And it's now that when we get these high tides, it floods the nest and kills all the chicks. But
Councilor Lamartine.
Community Power has announced their latest rates for the upcoming rate period starting August 1st, 2026 through January 31st, 2027. CPCNH has proposed a base rate of 14.949 cents per kilowatt hour. Eversource has proposed a base rate of 14.009 cents per kilowatt hour. CPCNH's rate of 14.949 cents per kilowatt hour represents an increase of 1.95% over the current rate of 14.663 cents per kilowatt hour. Eversource's rate of 14.009 cents per kilowatt hour represents an increase of 19.32% over the current rate of 11.303 cents per kilowatt hour. During the announcements of the rates, Eversource announced or said they're slightly cheaper again this upcoming rate period than CPCNH, but Eversource stated that in the last 3 rate periods they've undercollected for electric supply to the tune of $38 million, which they plan to recover over future rate periods. Eversource stated their rate would be in the 15-cent region for the upcoming rate period, but their rates are set by formula average household using 650 kilowatts per month, the CPCNH rate announces an increase of roughly $1.86 per month over the current CPCNH rate. For the average household using 650 kilowatts per month, the CPCNH rate amounts to an increase of roughly $6.11 per month over the Eversource rate. So I want to remind people, anybody can opt out at no charge from Newmarket Community Power and switch over to Eversource simply by calling 1-800-603-POWR. That's 1-800-603-7697. All you have to do is have your Eversource account number. And I'll give Council just some statistics here that of the roughly 5,682 electric accounts in Newmarket, 3,945 accounts, roughly 69.4%, are on Newmarket Community Power. From January through June of this year, 143 accounts have opted back to Eversource. I have monthly reports if anybody wants to see them. I will share them.
Councilor Donovan.
Thank you. Councilor Martina, I know that the committee had presentations from other vendors besides Community Power, and that at that meeting there was discussion of having possibly other potential vendors come in. Is that still something that the
Yes,
committee is pursuing?
next Wednesday, July 22nd, I believe it is, we have another vendor coming in, ECM Energy. I believe she's out of Keene, I believe.
ECM Energy?
We'll have another presentation from them, and then there's a resolution coming up that to do some additional.
Thank you.
The Newmarket 300 committee met on the 8th. They are still looking for volunteers to help out with upcoming events for 300. If you are interested, you can go to their website, sign up with a volunteer with this, and with what your interests or your talents are. That would be greatly appreciated. Through the Hometown Heroes banner, through the banner program, which you have, people have probably seen going through town showing Newmarket Heroes, they have brought in $4,700, which will be used to go forward for funding future events. Remaining events for the year are the Backyard Bash, where they will have a tent, where also you can buy 300 themed beer from Deciduous. So if you like beer and history and helping out people, please buy some beer at the Backyard Bash. There will also be the book launch for the 300th book on November 16th, and the opening ceremony on December 15th. I apologize if I get any of those dates, but if you have any more questions or events, please go to their website for 300th. And on September 16th, the Elm Street mural is to be repaired and replaced. Just to be clear, they're going to, that Elm Street mural has been falling apart. They're going to clean it off, rebuild it, and instead of painting it, they found high quality images of the actual paintings, and they're going to print those on metal plates and put them back on the wall. So the images will be there, but they'll be on metal plates where they won't fade, crack, and the wall will be repaired. I believe that was it for me. Councilor Dornblow?
Thank you. Mr. Chair, I have a couple of reports as well. I attended the Coast Board meeting on the 24th of June, and at that meeting, the rate increase that also affects the Newmarket Exeter connector was adopted, which means that a single fare ride on the connector is now will be $4 once the increase goes into effect in September. And that was really the main piece. I can also report that Coast has been able to secure a significant grant to or contribution to the new facility, which makes reaching the goal of actually being able to fund the building of the facility much more likely. So that was very welcome news. Back here in town, the Public Transportation Advisory Committee met last week, and we had presentation from the kind of a kickoff presentation from the contractors for the wayfinding and signage project that the town is undertaking. There will be more about that shortly, including community participation in outreach events, and I'm sure we'll hear more about that today anyways. But that was it was very good discussion, and I think there should be an easy rapport built between the committee and the contractors for that. I think it's Doofy, right? Is that correct? I don't know. All right, this is Durfee, sorry. And so I was pleased, and I think the rest of the committee was enthusiastic about the project as well, and what it means for us to kind of have the opportunity to think about a visual brand for the town, and signage to allow visitors to town to find their way around a little bit more easily. The committee also finalized recommendations regarding parking and parking management that I would like the opportunity to have a deeper conversation about. I think it would be helpful if we could have a workshop around the recommendations from the committee regarding parking. This is in response to, I don't know if you recall, the police department, the chief, and was here to talk about the situation with parking and parking enforcement. So the committee spent considerable time to look at the situation, get a better understanding. We had presentations from potential vendors for paid parking. I don't know if you recall, but the department essentially recommended that we consider adopting paid on-street parking provisions. And the committee's recommendation is that we, before doing so, that we take some preliminary steps. They're outlined in the recommendations, and rather than trying to iterate them here, I would prefer if we could spend time reading them off each, and then having a conversation about that and seeing if the recommendations as presented are something that the council would want to move forward. So that's that. No, the rest is a question that I can ask later.
How about we do a workshop next session?
That sounds good.
You think an hour?
I think an hour would be a good start. And maybe we can invite some of the other committee members, and maybe the chief to the conversation as well.
Okay. Were there any other questions for Councilor Durham? All right. Seeing none, we will now move on to old business, resolutions and ordinances in the second reading, starting with Resolution 2025-2651, Master Plan Contract Amendment. Is there a motion?
I will make a motion to approve Resolution 2025/2026-51 Master Plan Contract Amendment.
Second.
Good evening, councilors. Robert Tennant, Planning Director. I'm here before you to request $7,200 from the Capital Reserve Fund to help finalize, finish out the master plan. process. The work requested, or additional work, was to help finalize the website, which is up, so I encourage you to check it out. And then also finalize the document after public comment, additional public outreach opportunities that SRPC would participate in. So that's what the amount is for. This would be the last request. And the capital reserve fund has just been replenished. So this past fiscal year, I think we have around 11,000 in there. So it's the purpose of it. So just respectfully requesting to utilize $7,200 from that and have town manager amend the contract.
Any discussion or questions? Councilor Martina.
I was just saying, I've heard good things about the website already.
You can find it on the main page or in the planning board.
Councilor Trombley.
I would just like to take the opportunity to congratulate the people involved in creating the master plan and including the website. It's the most comprehensive master plan that the community's ever had, and I'm really pleased with it. So if we need to spend, an additional $7,200 to pay for that work, I think we should do so.
Any other questions or comments? All right. Seeing none, Ms. Chase, could you please call the roll?
Council Conley? Aye. Council Dorford?
Aye.
Council Blackstone?
Aye.
Council Blaisberg?
Aye.
Council Lamatina?
Aye.
Council Ward?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
We now move on to resolution and ordinance in the first reading, and the vice chair will be reading the resolutions.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, just because there's a number of them of like,
Oh,
not us, but probably the vice chair could just read by title only.
yes, this resolution I will read by title only. It's resolution 2026/2027, we're into the new fiscal year. Dash 01, relating to the town's investment policy. If anybody wants to read all multiple pages of the policy, they're welcome to read that on. Next, give me a second to get there. Okay, resolution 2026/2027-02, lead water service line replacement round 2. Whereas the new lead and copper rule revision requires water systems to create a plan to replace water lead service lines, and whereas the water department has received $160,000 with up to 66% loan forgiveness to replace the water lead service lines, and whereas Wickerson Construction is the lowest bidder, now therefore be it resolved by the Newmarket Town Council that the Newmarket Town Council authorizes a project budget of $160,000 to complete the replacement of the known galvanized water services. The Newmarket Town Council authorizes the town manager to enter into an agreement with Wickerson Construction and Wright Peterson to complete the lead service line replacements. Funds for the project will come from the $160,000 loan grant received from the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services, sponsored by Chair Ward on request.
And the town manager is requesting a suspension of the rules, so we can vote on this tonight. I will accept a motion to suspend the rules.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
And I will say Councilor Martina second that. And town manager.
Just for reasoning, is that the crews are already out doing the work, and with the distance between the two meetings, you don't want them to come off the work site, have to go back, because that would have additional costs.
Okay. Is there any discussion on this one?
I need a motion.
Okay.
We need to vote, oh, sorry, yeah, but you're voting on first to suspend the rules.
Okay, so first we're gonna vote to suspend the rules. Would you please call the roll?
Council Conley? Aye. Council Dorblue?
Aye.
Council Blackstone?
Aye.
Council Blaisberg?
Aye.
Council Lamatina?
Aye.
Council Ward?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
And now, was there any? Oh,
Yeah, I need a motion to approve.
and now I need a motion to approve the lead water service baseline replacement round two.
I will make a motion to approve resolution 2026/2027-02, the lead water service line replacement round 2.
Second.
Just to give everybody a quick overview, to bring everybody a little history, the EPA has come out and that's all the galvanized lead service lines removed out of all the water systems. So what we had to go through is we received a $50,000 grant to look at our inventory, which we have over 2,000 services. From that, we determined that there was approximately 18 services out there that needed to get replaced. There was money to be available to replace these services. We aggressively went after $300,000 to try and get them done because we have so little service to get them done. However, we found that that money wasn't enough. The first round, we actually received 71% forgiveness on that $300,000, so we only have to pay back 29% of that. We aggressively went to go back to get $160,000, which I received the email the first week of July saying that it is available to us. Wixon right now is just finishing up round 1. The second round, we're actually receiving 66% forgiveness. You can see it's dropping. As the money dries up, it's going to get less and less loan forgiveness, and there'll be no money eventually to do these. So we wanted to get out there and get these done. We don't want Wixon to go away and have to come back and remobilize. So we're asking you tonight to approve the town manager to enter an agreement with Wixon to do the rest of the services and to get these done and be done with it.
Any comments or questions? Councilor Conley.
I don't have a question, just a comment. This feels like a no-brainer. We the lead service line.
Councilor Dorblue.
I totally agree. And I wanted to say that I appreciate the enthusiasm and the vigor with which you are going after funding in order to provide safe services, safe water services to residents. If you don't mind, would you just so that everybody out there can kind of appreciate it as well, maybe relate a little bit what kind of conditions you encounter as you are going through that work, just to generate some appreciation for the difficulties that replacing service lines can present.
So on these, we found it, I think we're finding the reason why these weren't replaced because they're in very difficult locations, and we're finding infrastructure that we didn't realize was there. So for a couple services, we had to actually cross 6 clay lines that actually go back to the 1890s, 1900. So it's been, and when we actually looked at these water services, I don't know how these people are actually living because the pipe was actually about the size of this pen, opening going through those pipes. So it's been quite challenging. We've been finding things that the records weren't correct, and it's been very difficult for the contractor to do these services. Hopefully, I've scheduled the worst ones first, and these ones bad. But it's been very challenging.
Thank you. Appreciate that. 300 years of infrastructure. Seeing no other discussion, I will call the roll, please.
Council Conley? Aye. Council Dorblue?
Aye.
Council Blackstone?
Aye.
Council Blaisberg?
Aye.
Council Lamatina?
Aye.
Council Ward?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next is resolution 2026/2027-03, Town of Newmarket, New Hampshire, a resolution directed review of the town's cost-sharing agreement with the Community Power Coalition of New Hampshire. Whereas the Town of Newmarket is a member of the Community Power Coalition of New Hampshire, CPCNH, and executes a cost-sharing agreement with CPCNH, on November 16, 2023, and whereas recent reporting has documented that community power rates have at times exceeded default utility rates, that residents have faced difficulty opting out, and that some member communities have voted to withdraw or move accounts off community power, and whereas the town council wishes to obtain independent legal advice on the town's rights, obligations, and options under the agreement before determining what further action, if any, is in the town's best interest. Now therefore be it resolved by the town council of the town of Newmarket as follows. The town council directs the town manager to have the town attorney review the cost-sharing agreement and related CPCNH joint powers agreement, and to advise on the town's rights to withdraw or terminate any continuing financial obligations, the town's liability and general fund exposure, and the town's right to cost and rate information. The town attorney is requested to report findings, options, and recommendations to the town council at the earliest practical date. Noting that this resolution commits the town to withdraw from the agreement or CPCNH, this resolution takes effect upon passage. Sponsored by Councilor Blackstone.
Chairman, I would like to request a suspension of the rules and that we could vote on this tonight.
Is there that's his motion, is there a second?
One second.
So I guess we call the roll to, or discuss whether, yeah. Now, what is the reason for voting on it tonight?
The fact that it involves a lot of money that we're currently paying out, and that we have this meeting schedule, which is now a monthly instead of bi-weekly.
Councilor Lamatina, and then, okay, then Councilor
So I'm familiar with the cost sharing agreement, and the way it is worded, we have to give them 36 months. Okay, basically what happens is Community Power goes out and purchases electricity from Newmarket in advance. Okay, so we have to work that out. I'm personally not against.
Oh, sorry, we're discussing suspension of the rules.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Should we suspend the rules?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Councilor Donovan, did you want to?
I think we, if I understand this correctly, this resolution is asking, this is important in order to vote on the suspension of the rules. I need to know what this resolution is asking to do, and whether I'm prepared to vote on it tonight, rather than needing another time period to digest the resolution and what it's intending to do. So I would like to ask that question of Councilor Blackstone. So if I understand this correctly, the intent of this resolution is for the town to ascertain under what circumstances we would be able to withdraw from our existing agreement with Community Power Coalition of New Hampshire in order to pursue other opportunities to provide cheaper electric rates to the residents of Newmarket, not to withdraw from the idea of community power altogether. Is that correct?
Well, the idea is to see what our options are on our tie to community power, because we know there are significantly cheaper options available other places, as you are aware. Right. And they're not like small. It's not a small amount. It's a substantial amount, involving several $100,000 a month, or maybe $100,000 a month differences. if we could get rid of community power and we could go to the open market. We're currently,
Again, this is just about cement.
I'm trying to answer his question. We're currently paying 2 cents more than Eversource. And I'm not holding up Eversource as a good thing. Eversource is still expensive. But we're currently paying 2 cents more than Eversource at community power. We have been for like 6 months. That's for the town of Newmarket, the ratepayers of Newmarket. That's like $50,000 a month.
So my understanding is you feel that there is a need to move quickly in order to save ratepayers in town. And
I would like to be
you would like to
seen,
know-
I would like to be seen by the citizens of Newmarket as being proactive
Yeah.
in trying to save them money. We made a decision for Newmarket, which ended up costing everybody in the town money. And I would like to have us seen as being proactive and, okay, when we did it, it made a lot of sense. It doesn't make sense now, and the future, as we just saw, doesn't make any sense in the future either.
I'm going to speak now. Thank you. First of all, because this involves a lot of money, this might be something that a lot of people might want to have a conversation about, that since we only have it, if we vote on it tonight, that eliminates a lot of people who might want to speak for or against it, who don't have a chance to come speak to it. That's one of my things. The second is that it is anyone on town is still able to remove themselves from community power by calling the number if they so choose. So I am not, respectfully, I am not seeing the need to suspend the rules on this. I personally think we should keep this on the same schedule as before, give people time at home if they have comment or concern to come forward, and that's what I'm saying. And now, Councillor Connolly, and then Councillor Glazebrook.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I think I don't have strong feelings on whether to, on suspending the rules per se. However, I did want to just point out that the action that Councillor Blackstone is asking to suspend the rules on is just to move forward with the legal review. It's not making a decision for the town. It's just saying we would like to have our council look at this and make some recommendations, and then so I guess I don't have a problem with suspending the rules.
Councillor Glazebrook.
I agree. I'm not sure if it's even a requirement that we go through this process to ask the lawyers to look at a contract.
I asked the town manager to look at it. He looked at it and but it's kind of complicated. And he said, I really would like to have the board give me direction before we go out and get the attorney.
Yeah, I'm all for a fact-finding mission as soon as possible. I don't think that it matters waiting. We're just going to be getting information. So.
Okay. Is there any other discussion on amending the rules? Okay. Ms. Chase, would you please call the roll?
Councillor Conley?
Aye.
Councillor Dornbluth?
Aye.
Councillor Blackstone?
Aye.
Councillor Glazebrook?
Aye.
Councillor Lamontina?
Aye.
Councillor Ward?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
And now we need a motion to actually vote on this. Do we have a motion for this bill?
I will make a motion for us to approve resolution 2026/27-03, Town of Newmarket, New Hampshire, a resolution directing the review of the town's cost-sharing agreement with the Community Power Coalition of New Hampshire.
Second.
All right. And now we can discuss and now Councilor Lamontina.
I'm actually fine with this. I'm not going to be here next month, so I do appreciate the opportunity to talk to you. I have no problem having a legal review of the documents, but I can tell you right now that it's fairly straightforward. There's a 36-month notice period that we have to give them because they go out and they purchase electricity for us beforehand. I absolutely agree we have an obligation to people in Newmarket to do will say that some of the comments about monies and savings or whatever is not 100% accurate. Okay? I can show you documents. During the first 18 months of community power, we saved Newmarket a fair significant amount of money. As of June, we were still in the black technically of benefits of $73,000, roughly around $73,000. That's definitely going to get eroded over the next period. And I'm not 100% sure that going the broker route, which is, we're talking to two, Freedom Energy and another company, potentially purchasing electric supply from them. It's not 100% clear at this point in time, especially given the political issues or whatever, that the rates are going to be significantly cheaper. And there are some benefits to community. So
I will say that I don't have an issue with doing legal review. My only concern was with changing the rules. I just want to put that out. Is there any other comment on our discussion? Councillor Conley.
Yeah, I'll just reiterate that I think it doesn't encumber the council to get information. It doesn't bind us to any kind of action, and it's not costing the town of Newmarket. We're not putting an additional financial burden on the taxpayers of Newmarket to get the information. So I'm in favor of it.
Councillor Conley.
Just to clarify that, thank you. Town manager, that's correct, that this review would be included in the retainer?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. And I'm ready to vote.
All right. If there's no other discussion, Ms. Chase, would you please call the roll?
Council Conley?
Aye.
Council Dorblue?
Aye.
Council Blackstone?
Aye.
Council Blaisberg?
Aye.
Council Lamatina?
Aye.
Council Ward?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
The next resolution, or is actually an ordinance that I will read by title only. Anybody wants to read the multiple pages of the foundation of the heritage?
We can just do it by title.
I will read this by title. Okay. Ordinance 1-2026/2027. An ordinance amending Chapter 2 Administration, Article 3 of the Town of Newmarket Code to establish a Heritage Commission pursuant to RSA 674:44-A2, Section 674:44-D.
And a public hearing will be scheduled at our next regular meeting to discuss the potential Heritage Commission. All right, now we're moving on to new business and correspondence. Is there any new correspondence to the town?
There is not.
Okay, and now we go to closing comments. Does anyone have any closing comments this evening? Councilor Darwood.
Not so much a comment as a question that I should have asked the town manager earlier. And you may not have the answer, and that's fine. I've been hearing more people concerned about their economic prospects and fortunes currently in town, and I'm wondering if that kind of what I'm hearing anecdotally is showing up in any figures that you are analyzing.
As of right now, no, but we are hearing the same things. We did see the Consumer Price Index was released yesterday for the country and for the Northeast. We haven't gotten Boston yet. While it went down from month to month, it did increase year over year by about 4% for inflation. So, yeah, those are the things that we're starting to see. And we'll take that into consideration when we do our budget this year.
One final comment, sorry. I just wanted to say for everybody who likes to ride their bike, If you go out on Grant Road, it's nice new pavement out there. Thank you to the DPW. It rides really fast and it's really fun. So, thank you.
And did you have one? Right. And I would just want to take a moment again to thank Mr. Ripley for his lovely song. Honestly, I'm surprised we don't have a sound song already, but I'm glad that we have one now. So thank you again so much for coming out.
Thank you, it's my privilege to.
All right, and unless anyone has any pressing business or desire to sit in this room longer, I will consider us adjourned. Oh, our next meeting is August 12th with a joint meeting of the school board with our regular session on August 19th. Now I will consider us adjourned.